Okay, so our first question we've had is, my rainbow is due in 3 months. I'm approaching the gestation that I lost my last baby Samuel at. Are there any things that I can do to help, please? Now, I think a lot of you know that I admin the Journey Over the Rainbow Oscar's Wish Rainbow Support Group. And I would say this is one of probably the most common times that people post, is when they're around the time at which they had their loss. And they just want to know what to do and how to get through. I think the thing is, inevitably, the point at which you lost your last baby is going to be the point at which your anxiety rockets in a rainbow pregnancy, because you're just so anxious that it might happen again. And I think it doesn't matter if logically we know the chances are very slim of it happening again. Emotionally, we just feel like, well, I didn't think it would happen last time, and I know that it could happen. I know how awful it is, and so that anxiety is going to hugely increase. In terms of what to do to help, I think that varies from person to person. I think back to what helped you in your initial kind of grief journey. What were the things that were good for you? Was it keeping busy? Was it perhaps doing kind of art things? Was it doing gardening? Was it trying to nurture a pet or someone else's, a way to kind of put your loving feelings into something else? For me, I found that self-care helped a lot. So I cut back in terms of my job. I did kind of yoga in between. I did meditation and breathing exercises. I really tried to take care of me and the baby and reduce stress, and reduce how much kind of physical exercise I did, and only exercise kind of gently, and did things that I feel if I really took care of me, then I was really taking care of the baby, and that somehow that made me feel like it was less likely to happen. Not that I didn't take care of my previous baby, but for me that self-care helped. And reducing stress and me feeling better just reduced the anxiety and helped kind of manage that anxiety. Other things I did, just trying to think back. I guess I was a bit more kind of hypervigilant in terms of kind of checking. I spoke to people, so I chatted a lot with friends and family. I had kind of regular consultant appointments. I made sure I spoke to the consultant about how I was feeling. I asked for extra appointments, kind of have a scan around that time, kind of make sure, at 6 months, should be able to request an extra scan. If it's later on in the pregnancy, for those who have a loss nearer the end, you can ask for kind of extra monitoring. And depending on the circumstances of your loss of the first child, whatever it is, that you think might minimise the chance of it happening again, or at least you feeling like you're minimising the chance, that would be important to do. And yeah, I used online forums. The Journey Over the Rainbow was very, very new at that point, and so sometimes I would post on there, or sometimes I would use like Sam's forums and things where there was kind of more people. Kicks Count do a due in and then the month at which your new baby is due group, and lots of people on there have had previous losses and rainbow pregnancies, so that's a kind of very well used group where you can kind of get responses. So yeah, a lot of talking it through with people, and then just kind of being accepting of course I'm going to feel like this, and just because I'm feeling anxious doesn't mean it's going to happen again, and I just need to kind of get through each day, and as I say, take care of myself, and and when you get past that point, I found that things got a little bit easier, and then I would still have days, like the rest of the rainbow pregnancy journey, it's kind of up and down, but it's just doing whatever I felt I needed to at that point. Sometimes it was cooking myself a nice meal, whatever I felt I needed to get through, and that might be different day to day. I hope that answers your question. If not, feel free to PM me and see if I can help anymore, or if anyone else wants to comment on this group and say what helped them, that would be good. All right, thanks.